Good evening, gentlemen. I'm Dr. Carolina, and tonight we're going to talk about something few men over 60 ever hear honestly: why some men seem to hold an effortless magnetism while others, just as kind and capable, feel invisible. You've probably seen it. Two men, same age, both with gray hair and wrinkles of experience. Yet one of them walks into a room and something happens. Conversations shift toward him. Women glance twice, and even silence seems to bend around his presence. The other man blends into the background no matter what he does. It's not about looks, it's not about money, it's something deeper, something invisible but unmistakable. What if I told you that this quiet attraction has nothing to do with youth and everything to do with energy? That the most attractive quality a man can possess after 60 is not what he owns or how he looks, but the peace he carries. I've spent more than a decade working with men on hormone balance, confidence, and emotional health. I've seen men in their 60s and 70s who thought dating was over, only to find vibrant, loving relationships when they stopped chasing and started embodying calm. Attraction at your age is psychological, not biological, and that's the secret younger men can't imitate. You don't need to look 30 again. You need to live like a man who's finally comfortable in his own skin. But most men never realize this. They're caught in the myth society feeds them that women only want youth or money or power. I see men every day who've been told they're past their prime, that their worth is declining. And I tell them the same truth I'm telling you now: your value doesn't diminish with time, it matures. What women respond to in you now is the calm confidence that life experience gives. So let's talk about the habits that block that energy and how to unlock the quiet magnetism that's already inside you. The first trap many men fall into is chasing validation. You'd be amazed how often I see men linking their self-worth to whether a woman smiles back, replies to a message, or agrees to a date. It's subtle, but women feel it immediately. That small thread of need, please see me, please like me, changes your energy. It creates pressure. And women don't relax around pressure, they relax around peace. When you no longer need her reaction to confirm your value, you radiate safety. That's when she leans closer without knowing why. The second trap is competing with younger men. You can't beat a 30-year-old at being 30, but you can outshine him by being grounded. Younger men often radiate speed and tension, constant motion, constant striving. You, if you choose, can radiate calm, and calm, gentlemen, is rare. It tells her nervous system that she can exhale around you. I can't tell you how many women have told me, "He made me feel safe," not because he was protective, but because he was still. That's the gift of maturity. It's not loud, it's not performative, it's present. The third trap is believing that women want youth more than maturity. What they actually want is emotional steadiness. They're surrounded by men of every age who are restless, inconsistent, unsure. When they meet a man who knows himself, who isn't fighting the passage of time, who isn't bitter about it, it feels like warmth after a long winter. Maturity signals that you won't vanish when things get complicated. It tells her she can trust the connection. Trust, not charm, is what builds attraction that lasts. The fourth mistake is performance. So many men think they need to entertain, to fill silence, to impress with stories, to prove worth through humor. But the truth is, the quieter you become, the more space she feels to show up as herself. You don't need to be interesting. You need to be interested. When you listen, really listen, without an agenda, you lower her cortisol, the stress hormone. You shift her entire physiology from guarded to open. That's not seduction, that's biology. And the fifth trap, the one that quietly destroys the rest, is attachment to outcome. Every woman can feel when a man wants something from her. It doesn't matter how polite or subtle the words are. The energy says, "Please give me something so I can feel whole." But when you no longer need anything, when you can appreciate her presence without expectation, that changes everything. Wanting nothing makes you desirable. It's paradoxical but true. This, gentlemen, is what I call the calm field, the energy that draws without pulling. Now, how do you build it? I teach a simple 12-minute nightly practice to men who've lost that natural ease. It's short, but it rewires how your mind relates to women, to aging, and to yourself. For the first few minutes, sit in stillness. Feel gratitude for your life as it already is. Don't visualize what's missing. Honor what's present, your breath, your health, the lessons you've lived. Let the body soften into satisfaction. Next, close your eyes and imagine a conversation with a woman you find attractive. You're not trying to persuade her of anything. You're not reaching for approval. You're simply enjoying her company, curious, relaxed, easy. Feel that steadiness in your chest. That's emotional regulation. And finally, spend the last few minutes reminding yourself of who you've become, not your achievements, but your evolution. The times you were kind, the people you helped, the storms you endured without losing your humanity. That's where real confidence comes from. Quiet self-respect. Do this every day, and something subtle begins to shift. You stop radiating hunger and start radiating wholeness. You stop chasing and start attracting. I had a patient, Mark, 65, divorced 10 years. He told me he'd given up on dating, said he felt invisible. We started this practice. 2 weeks later, he called and said, "It's strange, women smile at me again. I didn't change anything." Oh, but he did. He changed his energy. He stopped asking the world to validate him. You see, when a man is at peace with himself, his posture changes, his voice softens, his laughter becomes genuine, and women, being intuitive, sense it immediately. It's not manipulation. It's resonant. Here's what most men never hear. Attraction is not something you create, it's something you allow. When you let go of tension, judgment, and expectation, your natural magnetism returns on its own. At this stage of life, you don't need to prove that you're enough. You already are. And that's what women feel. So let's dismantle the biggest myth of all, that your best years of connection and intimacy are behind you. They're not. In fact, they can be the most fulfilling of your life because for the first time, you have perspective. You know what matters and what doesn't. You understand that real connection isn't fireworks, it's alignment. Women sense when a man has learned from his past instead of carrying it like a wound. They sense when a man can hold emotion without panic, when he can laugh without bravado. That's what feels irresistible. Presence, purpose, peace. Those are the new markers of attraction. So here's what I want you to remember. You don't have to compete with younger men. You don't have to chase validation. You don't have to fix yourself to be desirable. You simply have to remember who you already are when you stop pretending. Start your day with gratitude. End it with stillness. Give attention without agenda. Speak slower. Listen deeper. Let silence do part of the talking. And above all, stay outcome independent. When you walk into a room without needing to be noticed, people notice. When you speak without needing to be right, your words carry weight. When you offer kindness without seeking return, it lands like sunlight. That's the quiet confidence every woman over 40 or 50 dreams of, and the one every man over 60 can embody. Gentlemen, attraction isn't about chasing energy. It's about becoming the calm center that energy moves toward. You've lived long enough to stop auditioning for life. It's time to inhabit it. So take a breath, shoulders back, and remember, you're not past your prime. You're standing at the doorway of a new one. I'm Dr. Carolina. Thank you for spending this time with me. Take care of your body, your peace, and your presence. Because when you do, the world, and yes, the women in it, will feel the difference instantly. Good night, and stay steady, stay kind, and stay magnetic.